Welcome back. So in my last video, I talked about what's essentially in my backpack, right? The main one that I'm carrying to my trek to Sandakphu. And that reminds me, I didn't really kind of explain or talk about the trek. So very briefly, we are doing this 6-day trek. The trek itself is called Sandakphu Trek. Sandakphu is a place in West Bengal. It's actually the highest peak in the Sangalila ridge, right? Which runs between the Indo-Nepal border, right? And the beauty of this trek is you have, essentially the privilege to view the Himalayan mountain ranges. The most spectacular views that one can expect from a distance. So you will on right from the west, you start with the mountain ranges in Nepal, and then Bhutan, and then Tibet all the way to the east. So you will get to see the Everest mountain ranges, the Kanchenjunga mountain ranges, and a couple of them as well. So really looking forward to this trek. I plan to video the entire experience so I can share my experiences with you all. So moving on, today I want to talk about the camera gear that I'm carrying. Like I mentioned, I plan to video or document the whole trek, and hence I'm carrying a couple of like again, anytime you're trekking, you do not have the luxury of carrying full-fledged gear, which I don't have, by the way. So I'm kind of going with a very nifty setup, which I'll talk about in a bit, right? So this is my camera bag. It's been with me for 10 years. It's by a brand called Kata, or Kata, I believe. And I don't think so this brand exists anymore. But, solid backpack. Paid about $75 at that time. Got it from the US. And it's been my, my companion for almost every trek that I have done since. So let's see what's inside, right? So this is the laptop compartment. I don't have a laptop here, and I won't be carrying a laptop. What I'll be carrying is my 12-inch MacBook Pro. So this would go in here. So the MacBook, there's no internet for most part of the trek, but what I'm going to use it is to transfer my photos, videos when I'm back at the campsite, and kind of quickly check if everything is in order. I don't want to kind of realize, hey, I've been shooting with off focus, or the exposure is not right. So in case there is any problem, I can course correct at least the next day. So that's the reason I'm kind of carrying that. And then the next compartment, this is the mid compartment. This is where all your non-camera equipment would go. Like if you have a jacket, your let's say you're carrying any snacks, your water bottles, all of those things will go here. What I have though here is I have this this is a rig which I kind of put together. This is an iPhone 11 Max Pro case, which is my phone. And what I've done is I've glued a lens adapter here, and what it allows me to do is essentially screw on a ND filter. All right. Go to the next segment and come back to this. So I'm carrying this DJI Om 4 gimbal. This is predominantly I'm hoping to get some stabilized footage of certain pans or reveal shots. And so what will happen is, so this my iPhone will go into this case, and that gets fixed to the gimbal. And the ND filter allows me to shoot even when there's harsh sunlight, right? Because if you don't use an ND filter, your videos or photos, they're going to kind of come essentially the light is kind of the highlights will be blown out. So this will help me with that. I do have a head torch here, and this is predominantly, you must be carrying a head torch in every trek, even if you're not planning to do a night trek, because, trek can, a lot of times, you can't predict a lot of things in a trek, the weather for one. And when you travel in a group yourself, I mean, if you, experience, any kind of, maybe a fall, you might get hurt, or maybe on high altitude treks, you might experience AMS, in which case you will need to kind of rest, recover, and then continue, right? So your schedule might get altered, and this is a winter trek, so the day ends pretty early. So in such cases, we could still continue onward with the help of the head torch. I have a pair of gloves. So this is an inner gloves. I will have an external gloves over this. So this will be here. And I have a power bank. So this should suffice. I mean, this holds enough power to charge my iPhone probably, twice or maybe a little less, but should be okay for a day. And then here, what do I have? I have, yes, my camera strap. And I'll tell you why it is not on the camera. By the way, the Trek camera is the one recording this video. That's the Lumix G9. So I have taken the strap off, okay? But I will be putting that back when I'm kind of trying not to have that hung over my neck. But whenever I'm kind of shooting videos and I'm looking to get the most stable, videos without any kind of shake, then this camera strap comes in really handy. So what you do is, you essentially use the strap to build the tension, right, between the camera and give it some stability, because then the strap is, leaning on your neck, right, and then it becomes, really stable, right. The G9 has fantastic in-camera stabilization called IBIS. So in itself, it gives you, stable videos, but this should kind of take it a notch higher, right. So highly recommended to carry the strap along. And then what do we have here? Camera batteries. These are not camera batteries. These are batteries for my Garmin GPS device. And then over here I have all the cables. Cables for my gimbal, cables for the camera, my iPhone cables. All of those will come in here as well. And then this is the main camera compartment. All right. So this is where you will have your cameras. So for the purpose of this video, I've kind of, this is a placeholder. So I put my, Canon 550D. This was my first camera. I don't use it as much after I've got my G9, but still a great camera. It's got the nifty 50, f1.8 lens on this. And then I have the Lumix G lens. This is the 35-100. This is the telephoto lens. What I have on the camera is the 12-35. This is loaned by my good friend John Simon. So thank you, John. In my previous video, I mentioned the backpack that I'm carrying is also loaned by John. And then I have a bunch of ND filters, again loaned by John. These are the filters for the camera, by the way. And then I have a circular polarizer. Not sure if I'll be using that, but anytime, I kind of come across water bodies and the circular polarizer, one, of course, you get good definition in the clouds, as well as, if you have a still water surface, you can actually, it does a good job of, allowing the reflection on the water to be captured in the photos as well. So it presents you some artistic opportunities. Yes, and then there's a rain cover for the bag. That's pretty much it. Yeah, one more thing. So I talked about, so my strap, which will be on the camera, but I don't intend to, have the camera hang off the strap on my neck. What I have done instead is, on this bag, I have this Peak Design camera plate. I don't know, it's called a camera plate or something like that. So what it allows me to do is, in fact, it's easier to demo this. So I have this backpack on me like this, and the camera, at the base of the camera, there's the Swiss plate that comes from the Peak Design, this instrument here. So it allows me to essentially hang the camera off the strap of my bag. Extremely stable. It's not going to move anywhere. So extremely nifty, and I kind of, I'm pretty much excited to use it in this format. Plus, it looks a little bit cool. Right? So that's essentially what is in my camera bag. Like I said, my next video hopefully would be of the trek, so I'll be back to share all the great experiences. So until then, thanks for tuning in. See you later. Bye.